Harry, because it's also a record.
Aware, yes, it's a record, so we can't, there's nothing that we can do.
Thank you. Well, guys, I have 4 o'clock. You know what that means.
Yes, ma'am.
We will be getting a clock, correct? Because I depend on that clock. Thank you. This is a regularly scheduled meeting of the Friendswood Downtown Economic Development Corporation. Well, actually, it isn't. It's the special meeting. Thank you for correcting me. On Tuesday, January 20th, 2026, it is 4 o'clock, and this meeting is officially called to order, and all of the board members are here except Mr. Cox, and he is missed, so we want to convey that. This is an opportunity for public communication. If anybody would like to address the board, we'd like to hear it. Before anyone addresses the board, I would like to compliment on the new digs that we have here and the refurbishing of the council chambers. And we are the inaugural event. That's pretty cool. We're excited. So anyone that would like to address us, please come to the podium. Hearing no one and having no one speak, the public communication part of the meeting is closed. Item 3A is to consider the approval of the minutes for the Friendswood Downtown Economic Development Corporation meeting that was held on December 9th. And just to clarify, our regularly scheduled meeting is the second Tuesday at 4 o'clock, but we chose to move it to this week in hopes that we would get some numbers and some data to be able to take some action on. So that's why we postponed a week. So with that, we have the December 9th meeting minutes.
Move to approve the minutes of December 9th.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes as presented. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? There's no one opposed. The vote is 6-0. We're now going to go to number 4, which is our work session topic, which is to discuss future projects in the downtown district. And we're in the midst of some projects and gathering some data. And Stephen, if you can, because it is a future project, is in that it's to futurely be installed, is the signage. And give us an update on everything if you can, please.
Sure. So if you'll allow me as I run through here, I should touch, I think, on.
Oh, signage is down in number 6.
I do have a
I
report.
read it.
I do have a report on
My
that as well.
mistake. Thank you.
For the work session here, the future projects for downtown, as the board is well aware, the overhead wire removal is back at the top of the ticket. We do have an action item later on, so we can discuss that a little bit further in detail once we get to those action items. Some of the other items that have been proposed and are in working order for public safety, the Friendswood Police Department continues to work with Texas, New Mexico Power, so we can get some permanent installation of cameras at the intersections downtown. In the last meeting, I think we discussed that there was going to, the current status is the TNP only allows for a two-year term and not necessarily only as a temporary term to be on their facilities downtown. So we're working with their legal department to see if we can go ahead and get a permanent installation. While we're waiting to make sure that's going to be feasible, what we've gone ahead and done is FPD has acquired 2 cameras that they will be placing in the downtown district at the bookends, both at FM 2351 and FM 518, and at FM 518 in Whispering Pines. These have already been purchased in-house and put together in-house. So these are some mock-ups that we're going to go ahead and have TNP agree to for temporary installation, which temporary here is in the magnitude of 2 years while we work through the legal process with them. Just so you have an idea of what you're looking at, these are currently fully operational. They just happen to be in the back of the police department currently in the parking lot behind FPD. So they have 2 separate models here, and what they're looking to do is highlight which one works best for the operations downtown, and that would ultimately be the one that is that's brought forward if the board does choose to move forward with the project. I will back up one. Just to let the board know, because these were done in-house, these did not take board action at all to be placed downtown. We will still need, if we get to that point where the board does want to move forward, we will still need to go through the public hearing process and then also the funding process, which is no different than anything else, to make sure that it's in line with the vision for the FDEDC and of course, the funding sources.
Any questions about the cameras? Glad they moved forward to just get an idea of what may work best and
Yes, ma'am.
find that out. And I take it from what you said that that's coming out of the city budget.
Yes, ma'am. So there was some funding that was available for these cameras. We did have the presentation by the police department a couple of meetings back. These tend to go one of two ways. They're either put together by the folks here in-house that are familiar with it, with the components that they know that work well. And then you can buy them from vendors or from other police departments across the country. These two that is happening put together here with the components.
And these are not the flock cameras. These aren't the license plate.
So these both have a license plate reader on them. That will be a flock camera, but they do not yet know if this is going to be the final design, just given the location. So there still may be a need for flock cameras if the board chooses to fund it or if the FPD chooses to move forward. Mainly because these are going to be in a different location than what we would normally see flock cameras are in the community. They're normally in the medians. These are going to be up on the poles. So they're confident that they would be able to still perform the license plate reading and the flock function, but they're going to hold off and wait and see if it works in the manner that they hope it does.
I seem to remember we discussed additional cameras in the downtown area, not just coming and going out of the downtown borders.
Right.
Is that part of what we're still looking into?
So that's part of what we're still looking into. So if this works, as of right now, it's not so much the board, it's not so much the funding sources or even the cameras. It is for these types of cameras, it's for if TNMP will allow them to be up for more than a temporary situation. We just don't want to have to purchase thousands of dollars worth of equipment only to have it up there for 2 years, potentially. We were confident, and TNMP local is fairly confident that the board, that their legal will be on board. It's just a matter of getting this up and running and showing them what we're looking to do, and then visiting with them.
Thank you.
Are these cameras, are they going to be fixed, or will they be able to be operated
So
remotely?
they are operated remotely. They can be seen in dispatch.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And they have a 360-degree
Built-in pen,
Yes, sir.
built-in Zoom.
4K, like 4K, 50 times zoom, all the bells and whistles. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Some of the other items that have been brought up, one I'll touch on real quick that hasn't been mentioned, or that I don't have a bullet point here, is sidewalks. Our engineering department is still looking for sidewalks in the downtown district on the side streets. They're taking their measurements, so hopefully we'll have something, no pun intended, concrete to bring back soon. Some of the items that have been discussed and are part of the downtown improvement plan have been banners, some additional street lights and uplighting with Friends Church. We've had a couple of preliminary conversations with them. Potentially some additional Christmas and holiday decor or lighting. And I'll get to the recap here towards the end of the meeting, but Christmas with the tree and the garlands was well received. So if you have not had your kudos, please allow me to thank you guys for that. We received a magnitude of compliments just based upon the new tree and then the lit garlands on the new street lights downtown. They were very well received. And then, of course, the removal of existing street lights. We've gone ahead and 505 South Friendswood Drive has removed theirs just voluntarily. They sent some folks out last weekend, weekend before. So that's decluttered a little bit in the right-of-way there. And then 416 South Friendswood Drive, which it says a work order is created because, laughingly enough, that's the library, and we didn't realize we still had a couple of ours up there. That should be complete. We've already taken care of that as well, so they're down. I drove by there this afternoon. One thing I do want to show briefly is the Parks Department has been working on the banners that will be going up potentially in between the different times for but in between the holiday and the Friendswood Heroes, the Hometown Heroes program, to There's some tweaks that have to be made, but these were some mock-ups that the company did for us. And so hopefully we'll have something to bring back quickly. These don't take very long to make. They're gonna have them mirrored, so they look the same on both sides. We did notice with some of the other banners that came in for Christmas, that they were a little, they weren't mirrored, so that you had to be very careful of how you put them up, otherwise they wouldn't match. So we're gonna get that taken care of, and then hopefully be able to have these up year-round in between the different events. And they'll end up matching color-wise the signage or the other colors within the color palette for the downtown improvement plan.
Stephen, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
In the past, as soon as the lights first started going up, there were some brackets, there were some banners hung on the brackets, and the brackets weren't holding up to the wind load or something? Is
Yes,
that
sir.
been addressed?
Yes, sir, it has. On the poles that had brackets, they had some faulty hardware. The fabricator and the contractor replaced it at no cost. And they've made it all the way, they've made it through the last Hometown Heroes and then all the way through the holiday season with the holiday banners up as well.
Just like to point out, he's been out a bit and in memory like a steel trap.
We'll bring
It's doing, you're doing well. Yes, you are. Don't make light of it. We're impressed.
try not to.
Thank you, Bubba.
And so I skipped ahead there. So in talking about the removal of existing streetlights, we have those two properties that have been taken care of. We're still working with the other property owners and making contact. This is a little hand sketch that I did where you see red. Those are the properties that still have streetlights in the right of way. And two of those have now been nixed, one the library and then one 505 South Friendswood. So we're going to continue working and to get these taken care of. We've had some calls into 2 or 3 different property owners to try to sit down and see what it will take. If everybody's as nice as the owners as 505 South Friendswood, maybe they'll just voluntarily go take them out, but we'll wait and see. And if there's any action that's needed on part of the board, we'll bring it back. And if anybody would like a copy of this, more than happy to email it over to you or print you out one.
But it is nice that 505 stepped up knowing that it was something that we were looking.
Yes, ma'am. And that was nothing.
All of the businesses are aware that this is something we're looking.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Comments, questions? Anybody want a copy of the map?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Stephen.
Yes, ma'am. One other item for the work session. We had talked about doing some additional community communication, and Aubrey started in earnest with the story map, and let's see if, there we go.
Love.
We do.
We do. Yes.
We sure do.
Bear with me here as I figure out how to navigate a new computer.
May I ask, is it live?
So the link is live. It has not yet been, I don't think it's been placed on the website just yet.
Posted on the website yet.
Okay.
Our communications department is doing an audit of our websites, and so we've been told that we need to clean up our pages and get things back in order. So this will be something that we can add. I'll go through it quickly, and you can see some of the additions that Aubrey made, not just a lot of new explanations of the group itself, along with some targeted explanations of the projects that have taken place. And this lists every project that the EDC has done thus far in its history. And then at the end, it has a graph that basically outlines the monies that have been spent. Each one has a brief description along with the project cost and what it was, who was involved. Many of these had partners, many of these were grants, and some of these were just straight funded by the FDEDC.
It looks very well done.
It does.
Thank you.
Well done, Aubrey.
And this is something that will not only be on the webpage, but what we mentioned last meeting, as we hit now the beginning of 2026, we can start pushing some of this out. We'll do maybe a little write-up on the board itself going into the new year. maybe a recap for Christmas, along with if anybody wants to follow the story map when it goes live, and they can go through and see what the board has accomplished.
One of the previous comments on this map was to add the outline of the downtown district, and we were able to get that in there, so.
Yeah, nicely done.
I like our street sign color. You can read those way easier.
You sure can.
I have failing eyes, and that helps a lot not being on green. I don't know why.
Well,
For the record, I do not like the street.
I actually think they should be red, but it's okay.
I choose to remain silent on this.
We've settled this, the signs.
I like them too.
No, they're in place. Yeah, yes.
What we got.
Yeah, we are. And I'm very happy with them. They are easy to read.
Many of these projects do have some interactive icons where you can click through and you can go view the individual locations. And here, this is utility box artwork that took place. Lo and behold, the brand new Christmas tree decorations.
This is why I shouldn't have a live mic, because my wife asked why I didn't get my dog portrayed on one of those animal scenes.
That's true. That is a reason to not have a live mic.
Yes. It's a good reason.
And here's the, I'll just point out the project costs here, the EDC projects, along with the, what we consider grants, the funding basically here from TxDOT, along with some of the credits. So overall, with a little over $3 million spent on the EDC funds, a little over $6 million in projects has taken place. So that's not a bad ratio to have.
And the graph is very, I mean, it speaks volumes.
I think that says a lot.
Yeah.
We've almost 50% funded by grants, and that's a big deal.
As new projects come online, they'll be added. They'll be added to the list here. And we'll just keep this live as it, it'll just grow as the board continues on.
Well done.
As I try to figure out what I'm looking
I
at.
like that. That's pretty too.
It's not downtown.
Yeah, but it's pretty too.
If y'all been to Clear Lake lately,
I can tell because there's no orange sign.
Well, and watch that first step.
we're getting there.
Not very, yeah,
It would be an orange sign.
it would be, and it'd be great.
I bet if our city could run on half grants, we'd all do it. You know what I mean?
Oh.
It's like the major city, if you can imagine. I mean, it's a huge difference. Huge difference.
That's all that I have for the work session. So if anybody has any comments or questions, or if you'd like to see the banners up close at the end of the meeting, just let me know, and I'll stick around.
Are those the actual mock-up of them?
So these are mock-ups that were done based upon the designs out of the downtown improvement plan. The company put two of those together just to see about colors and see if they could get the look correct. And they came back, and we have a couple of tweaks that we want to make before we bring anything back.
To go with the website, the acorn is upside down.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. It's little things,
Oh, absolutely.
no offense.
Well, the acorn would spill out.
Yeah, I thought, is that the way they? Anyway, it's
Can
all
I-
good.
Can I ask a question real quick? And this
Sure.
may be more of a Paul question.
Paul?
This morning, Marty and I were riding up and down 518, just looking for our book-in signs and seeing if anything had been done. And noticed that the lines on the east side of 518, there's two elevations, two levels. Are we looking at getting rid of both levels or just the lower one?
All of them.
All of them? What's the difference?
Well, some are AT&T, some are Comcast.
So the difference in elevation is just a company
It's,
thing?
and some are heavier than others. Some of those are copper lines, so they're gonna hang lower.
Oh, gotcha. Okay,
But all that should be coming down.
thank you.
Usually the phone cables are at the bottom, AT&T is gonna be the higher one. I'm sorry, Comcast is gonna be the higher one, the phone is gonna be the lower one, typically.
Okay.
There'll be one wire going across, but it's up higher, that's the neutral for the power lines. Yeah, you won't see that.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you,
Segue
Madam
for
President.
item 5.
Rebecca, I don't know where this fits. It's not certainly in a work session topic or a report, but it has been brought up previously, a question for Karen with respect to FDEDC funding of additional employee for the city that works with us, with the board, as well as increased funding for the position that we are paying for. Have you looked into the legality of that by chance?
We have an agreement with the city for that funding right now, just for the pay for staff time, but for a city employee or employee just for you all. The issue is that your funds can only be used in a restricted area, so that might be a difficult thing to keep that within that area.
The area being downtown specific. So I guess to me, to some degree, it depends on how you write the job description, right? If the job description is interface with the city or work with the city on behalf of the FDEDC, funded by the FDEDC. I mean, the question really was, is this possible? And it's possible. I think we should talk about it. If it's not possible, then we can table it, certainly.
I think it's probably possible. Practically, it's going to be a difficult thing, I would think, just because of the confines of what they can do.
And the documentation that it would take to require of the minutes that they have used for the downtown district, or if they were hired, just a question, if, excuse me, if they were hired primarily as just 10 hours a week or 20 hours a week, and that was it, and we paid for that, is that a feasible way to do it?
We can certainly take a look at something like that. If that's
Because we know we don't need, or I shouldn't say we. I figure we don't need a full-time person
I agree.
right now. But to have someone come in and assist Stephen and Aubrey with the needs of the board, you know, for a few hours a week or a day a week or something like that, is that, and they keep all of it confined to what we do. So it could be hired that way.
Potentially it could, yes. We can
Okay.
take a look at that.
I'd like for you to go ahead and investigate that.
If you'll give us a little bit of time, we, in previous meeting, we discussed, as well as upping the contract cost with the agreement cost with the city from the FDDC.
Right.
As we get closer to our budget cycle, which is going to, we normally start talking about it probably about May or April in really broad terms, we can start looking to see if we need to increase that. We can also look at potentially if there's the need or what the possibilities are for an employee or a part-time employee. To Karen's point, having a city employee basically do that kind of work may be an accounting nightmare, making sure exactly what is being paid for from the EDC fund and the documentation that's required on what exactly they would be confined basically to just downtown.
Yeah, and I recognize all of that stuff, and it's just a matter of a line item in the budget that says this is the line item to support this employee and this is the funding source. I mean, that's not hard. It just has to be legal.
Correct.
And if it's legal, then I agree, that's something we should pursue. I mean, you guys do great work for us, but I am sure that if you had help, there would be things that you could do that you're also being paid to do and not, working this way. It would only be better, I think, until we tried it and then found out it was worse. But with the kind of funding that we have and the kind of workload and the projects going forward and all those things, a dedicated, whoever how many hours a week, someone that is essentially a liaison, if you will, between us and you when we're not here, it couldn't hurt if it was done right. It's an opinion.
I'm going to play devil's advocate for just a bit. I know that it took us a while with the school district to figure out how to have someone that was employed by Friendswood Education Foundation but still be partially paid by the foundation and by the district, and it got cumbersome. So we just need to be very careful, and I appreciate that understanding. So it's, if you would just look at, I mean, because I don't, and that comes from a discussion with Aubrey and Stephen too, about what you might need or what else we can do to supplement you. Because I mean, the website now, that was a lot of work. And I,
Let's ask them this. Is this a position that y'all think you need to help you? Do you need us to help get this liaison person? Is that something you think? I granted y'all do some fantastic work.
I would, just being candid, most likely not, given the nature of the projects. If the EDC itself maybe had a larger territory or was citywide, where there was events that were held on y'all's behalf, if there was those types of things taking place, then perhaps. The projects, and it's unfortunate, but the projects, because of their magnitude for the most part, are slow moving. And so you take into account the grant project for the sidewalks and the curb ramps and the signals. That took a long time from start to finish. Ultimately, it was $2.8 million, but it still took a long time just because of the planning stages. And then the construction was not easy either. But once those are up and moving, the heavy lift is up front. And then then if there's anything that comes about that, with problems as we move on. The heavy lift here, just for, in this example, with the story map, it takes some time to sit down and to coordinate some time to sit down and do that, to compile pictures, to put together all the examples and all the descriptions. But ultimately, now that it's up, it really doesn't have to be tweaked unless you guys have another project that comes up. So that's just easier. But it's that lift up front, which can take some time, which sometimes is just a matter of getting it on either my schedule or Aubrey's schedule to make sure we can do it. If there's something that we're lacking with the oversight or looking through, anybody's welcome to reach out to us, and we can see what it is, and to see if there's an area that the board would like us to focus more on. We definitely can hyper-focus on things, up to and including, instead of maybe having somebody on the payroll for either organization, if it's a matter of, if we have a specific project that we would like a consultant to head up and just say, hey, Mr. Consultant, you are in charge of the sidewalk project. You're getting paid by the EDC, go forth and take care of it. And then at that point, they would just be another layer, but they would be able to focus entirely on whatever you're paying them to do.
Well, and I think it also, I think as we renegotiate or look at what we pay the city, that may be an opportunity for us to take on more responsibility financially and ask more of the city. Does that make sense? That if we pay you, not you, but the generic you, because I know we're going to examine that contract and that agreement to see if we are fairly paying our part.
Yes, ma'am.
So that may be another way that we can evaluate that.
And and I know it was discussed previously, historically, when the group started, that number was placed there. There wasn't a whole lot going on because everyone was waiting for the funding to build up. And at that point, it was one staff member. Now it's 3. And then if you count communications, it's 4 or 5. It just kind of depends on the amount of work that goes into it. Keeping the website, keeping the story map, pushing out content, and doing that kind of work. So we can definitely look and see if the number needs to be evaluated and bring it to you during our budget cycle.
And I mean, and you all have done an amazing job. So please hear that.
Thank you.
And I think, and I don't want to speak for you, but I'm kind of hearing you say, we don't want to put too much.
Well, absolutely.
We want to do our part.
Mine is a supplemental
That's right. That's what I'm hearing.
proposal.
Right.
Not a deficiency
No.
proposal. Sure. I am sure you are very, very busy people, and there are days when this is not your number one priority. And that's the only reason I would bring up, give it to somebody else and let it be their number one priority.
Sure.
Or not, but we won't ever reach a consensus if we don't start to talk about it. And if the consensus is, as you point out, the weight of the project doesn't really lend itself to someone that would be employed by the city, then okay. But now we've had the conversation.
Correct.
So we can move on to let's look at what the contract, in fairness, over 8 years really says.
We can definitely bring you back numbers and the possibilities of a potential employee. It's not a difficult.
Just curious.
Thank you for bringing that up. Any other comments or questions in the work session? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think it's great you brought it up, and y'all have been fantastic. And I think I've given you credit many times and you deserve it. But we may just restructure our pay, reimbursement.
Correct.
And then if they find that the burden is too great on them and they think, maybe they ask, hey, we could use some supplement, then we implement potentially this other person, or we adjust again, perhaps, the compensation for your services to the board. But I don't think I'd create just liaison, because he's 100% right. A lot of times it's just sitting there still for a couple of weeks and we're waiting on somebody.
Manageable most of the time.
And if they're not asking for something, I don't know if I'd create it.
I hear you.
Sure.
But hear us, Karen, that, and Stephen and Aubrey, that if the 1,300, which I don't know the exact numbers, isn't sufficient, we want to,
We want to know.
we want to know, please.
Up to 1,400 is fine. Oh, that's close. Yeah.
I think it's at 1332 or something like that. Anyway, thank you. Good conversation. Any other comments about the work session? If not, then we're going to move on to the discussion and possible action items, which the first one is to consider authorizing payment to AT&T to prepare cost estimate for a custom work order to remove and relocate the communication lines. That's an exciting statement.
Yes, ma'am, and in true communication company fashion, what this does, we'll start off, the cost for AT&T and their development and engineering team to prepare the preliminary engineering and plans is $15,000. So that's what they're requesting today, is the approval of the $15,000 to turn loose their engineering and development side to put a set of plans together. Once they have that detailed plan put together, they will be able to provide a cost to remove the AT&T communication lines downtown, and they'll bring that back to us. And get it to me so I can bring it back to the board to potentially move forward or not. If this year is approved today, the $15,000 expenditure will move to the council meeting in February, which is one of the reasons I really wanted to have a meeting, if at all possible, in January. So I appreciate you guys being able to make it today. But that way, there's no lapse in having to wait a full another month for another meeting.
Is this cost deductible from the cost to, the actual cost of the removal?
Yes, sir.
If we go through with it?
Yes, sir. If the board chooses to move through. Yes, sir. If we do choose to move forward, it is deductible from the overall.
I have a question. I missed the last meeting. My wife had a surgery, so I'm a little bit behind it. So I'm gonna, now, I remember us being concerned with removing these companies' lines from those poles, and there was concern that we didn't have anything legal way to stop them from putting them right back up 3 years later. Do we have any more clarity, nor, no?
We're over it.
No, sir.
We moved on.
Oh,
You
we're just,
said we can't
we're just
control it, so we
we're just
want them
accepting
gone.
the risk.
we're going with, running with the Jesus plan.
Yes,
You
exactly.
know, we could talk about it for the next 5 years. in the same-
Well, you're
we'd be in the same
100% right.
place. So
I
we just
will-
decided, whatever.
I will say that while there has not been anything
It's gonna be a lot harder.
specific and concrete from AT&T or Comcast, they have made it known that when they go back in to replace or repair, they will go back in wherever their lines exist. So if they are underground, that's where they will fix them. But no one has given a blanket statement that they will not go back, although in conversations, it is not their intention. They don't think the future does not necessarily hold for the wires.
Gentleman's agreement.
Yes, sir. That's not to say that the next AT&T or next big thing that takes a wire won't be able to be put on the poles. Technology, however, seems to be heading the opposite direction from wired. So fingers crossed that they hold that standard.
And as Chris very well said, that we just chose to move on
Well, okay.
and get numbers. Let's go. So we have a number to start.
$15,000, and this is a board action for today, so.
I wanted clarity, but if we can't get.
No, I'm glad you asked.
And sometimes you gotta take the shot.
We gave it a year and plus,
I
Yeah.
will make the motion to approve the 15,000 to find out what's gonna cost to move the lines.
I second the motion.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to approve the $15,000 for it to go to city council on February 2nd, to be approved and to pay for the AT&T to prepare a cost estimate. Any other comments or questions?
I do have one comment slash question. We have an idea, a general idea of what we think this is going to cost, right?
Based upon some previous
It's
estimates,
a
yeah.
general idea. It was a $2 million job-ish, as I recall in conversation over time.
So
The whole thing, Cox.
the whole thing, AT&T previously, their wide guess was anywhere between 800,000 and 1.2 million.
Okay, so let's go with the high number and say it's 1.2 million. Say they come back with 1.6, do we say no? Is there an upper limit that we have to be prepared to deny?
I'd cross that bridge when you get there.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay?
it's gonna be on the higher end.
That's my opinion, too.
I'd say 1.5.
I don't know.
It's a-
Well,
it's-
and we won't know exactly what will be in our
Well, there should be.
reserves.
I'll put it that way. There should be an upper limit.
Well, I assure you there is with me.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, no, I like to say no. But,
I've learned that about you.
I think that decision would be based upon the other options on the table.
Yeah.
If we could utilize capital more efficiently elsewhere, that knows more likely to happen, but until you have a real number, it's like price of a house. I mean, how much does a house cost? Well, I don't even know what it looks like.
We have an idea. So I just remind where we were was the early estimates, so that when we get something that's outrageous, we at least pause and go, suck a little air through our molars and think, are we going to do that?
Well, and we have to keep in perspective that estimate was what, a year and a half ago?
Yes, ma'am. So whenever AT&T does come back with a number, but when it's brought to the board, I'll make sure to have their previous estimate available.
Thank you.
Should anybody want
I
it,
will
for
say
sure.
this, if we're not prepared to spend $800,000, we don't need to spend
No. I'm good.
No.
I'm just not prepared to spend twice what they said it was going to cost.
I agree.
Okay. Look
Good
at that.
question, good point.
That was
Any other?
great.
Well, there's a number, everything's on it. Well, I can also, there's things for sale for a number too, but you gotta see the number.
Any other comments or questions?
No, ma'am, just.
Hearing none, we have a motion on the floor. What is the wish of the board? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The vote is 6-0. We will work with AT&T to get this 15,000 to them. Now, 5B, Stephen.
Unfortunately, Comcast was not able to come through with their numbers in time for the meeting. So this will not be acted upon today. So what I will tell you is previously, they were in between the $800,000 and $900,000 range, and their process is a little different. If they follow, which they've expressed that they will, they have a consultant or a contractor that is just going to provide them a quote, and they will just provide it to us. So there is the possibility, as soon as that number comes in, you would be able to have a board action to remove the Comcast lines. So they don't have to do any preliminary engineering like AT&T does. So hopefully, before the next meeting, we'll have that available.
Okay, our next meeting is February 10th.
Yes, ma'am.
So in order to take I'm just putting a thought out there. If we get the number in the next week, is this one that we could approve via email?
No, ma'am.
It has to be
We would have to be in a public meeting, yes, ma'am.
Do we need to call a public meeting to possibly get it on the February 2nd city council?
If the board wishes and if city staff has a proper amount of time to get it on the agenda, because the agenda does go out to council, to city council prior, so they have a chance to review it. And that would be, if it would be Comcast, that would be a very large sum that we would have to prepare for, because that would be an $800,000 to $1 million expenditure for council to consider. And just on the selfish side, I would like a little time to be able to visit with them so they know what it is.
Then we'll wait till the 10th.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for that explanation. Thank you. Any other comments or questions?
Were we dealing with the same people
Yes, sir.
the second time? So
Yes,
they're
sir.
aware of
They're very aware.
the original estimate?
One of the things that the board pushed at the last meeting was to make sure that they knew we were serious, and they do. Comcast, they had Just their new calendar year turned a new figures for their contractor on what it costs to do the removal. So we're just waiting on the new numbers to be provided to us.
Any other comments or questions? We'll just move on and not take any action on
Yes,
this
ma'am.
item.
Just one more comment. When we do get these estimates, we start looking at them, we need to really review those and make sure that, that they don't put these markers, these raised markers, like every 50 feet, you know, if we have any control over that, that would be good.
We can definitely take a look. We can make suggestions. Any modifications, I assume, is going to equal time and money, but that for the final product, though, may not be a bad idea. You, sir, obviously have experience, and then our engineering department does as well. So we'll happily tab you and see if you can help us out.
Sure.
Just for my, oh, go ahead, Scott, go ahead.
I just had a question. Is there, between Comcast and AT&T, is there some cost sharing potential?
There is not.
Okay.
This is where you get to your 2 million, between the two.
Yeah.
Which one would have to come down first, or is there an error?
There's not a,
Doesn't matter,
no,
okay.
ma'am. The only conflict is when they're going underground, is they may be working on top of each other for a little while, but that's gonna be their contractor's problem.
Thank you.
Comcast will go quite a bit faster. AT&T is going to take some time.
I will say this, and I don't know if we're doing it yet or not, but that has been something that we have everybody's wanted to do for a long time. And if we don't do it, it won't happen.
Yep. That's why we finally just said we're accepting the risk.
Well, I understand that.
Any other comments or questions? We're moving on to reports now, and my premature question is now 6A, about the signage.
So our signage report for downtown, all the signs have been completed. The contractor determined during the 811 tests, as they got out to mark for any potential utilities or conflicts, they started to dig their preliminary pilot holes and determined that the base material probably would not be sufficient for signs of this weight and size. So they went ahead and poured some foundations. They did that on January the 10th, and they used a 10-day curing window, so that puts them today, the 20th, the first day they can come in and start putting the signs up. It's a possibility by the end of the week. With the weather kind of getting a little silly by the end of the week, we'll wait and see. But most likely, it'll be next week. It should only take a day and a half to complete the entirety of downtown. And just to put an example up, that's what your sign's gonna look like. You see the prefab there on the left before they put the paint and the decals on it. And that's one of the larger ones that's gonna go on the bookends.
Handsome. Nice.
It is orange, yes, sir.
Matches the street signs.
It's an orange hockey puck.
I looked at it more as a pizza, but that's okay. Any other comments about the signage? Thank you for giving
ma'am.
such a good explanation. So we can safely say that they'll be up by the 1st of February.
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect.
Should be up by the end of next week, so.
So going on to 6B is to receive the downtown business and events report.
Yes, ma'am. So just real quick for downtown businesses, we do have one new tenant occupancy, the Sunken Ship Tattoo Company. It's down across from Captain's Corner and a little strip center there. They came in for a tenant occupancy. Events that are related to downtown, city staff, myself, is going to be attending the City of Richmond and the HJC Bringing Back Main Street meeting next week to highlight the project that the FDEDC took over and helped with TxDOT for the sidewalks, the curb ramps, and the signal installation. So I'll be giving a presentation there. And then as of today, I got an email that Friendswood has been asked to host Bringing Back Main Street in April. So we are going to see if we have a facility where we can accommodate 50 or 60 people from all over the region and invite some speakers. And so we'll keep you guys updated on that. So all good things to get the message out of the EDC. This is my second Bringing Back Main Street presentation just on the sidewalk project alone. The first one, they wanted to know how you got the funding. And the second one, they want to know what's it look like now that you've installed. So the first one, I think, was in 2018 or so. So it's been a good 8 years in between. So they're looking forward to it.
I will say, speaking for the group, and you can glare if you want to, but April is just around the corner for HGAC. So if there's anything that we can do to facilitate or help or, whatever you need,
You guys will be the first to know.
thank you. Now you can glare. Guys. And I knew you wouldn't, so that's why I went ahead. 6, anything else about that?
Yes, ma'am, sorry. So a recap for the events in downtown, Christmas. So I just wanted to point out, one, you guys are well aware of the tree and the decorations that were provided. I mentioned earlier just the kudos that was given. You guys got some great press in the local paper, along with the online edition. Did want to point out, because it may have been missed just with everything going on, is the logos, the downtown logo was used on the advertisements along with the T-shirt there. The T-shirt's in the middle, right here is the downtown logo. That was put on the back of the Santa T-shirts for this year. And then just a couple of pictures from the event that took place with massive amounts of people waiting to take pictures with the tree along with with Santa. And then, of course, you had the fireworks that took place adjacent to the tree along with some of the performers.
And I'd also like to say thanks to the Handy family, and I'm not exactly sure the appropriate full title, but they donated the ornaments, and that was very kind of them to make that donation. So thank you, Handy family. Very nice. Now, question, where's the tree now?
The tree is in a warehouse in San Antonio.
Okay,
The tree takes 3, maybe 4 full-size box trucks to get here. And it takes about 2 days to get everything up and running, secured. I had my worry just because of its height and the windstorms that we kind of had that came through. It made it through unscathed, so that was great.
thank you. Any other comments or questions?
Somebody asked me where the tree was stored.
There you go.
I mean, because I know we're very limited on storage here in Friendswood, and it's a big tree.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
There's a lot of room in the building next to the library.
no comment.
Let that one go.
Okay, moving on. Thank you for that. We would like to have 6C, which is to receive the City of Friendswood Comprehensive Plan update, please.
Aubrey, do you want to run through this real quick?
Sure. So the Comprehensive Plan Advisory Committee was appointed by council, and they had their first meeting in December. There was a great turnout. I think we have 19 committee members. So we had a good turnout and had productive discussion with that. We have a bus tour scheduled next Tuesday from 12 to 3, just for the committee. We'll be leaving from City Hall and doing, like I said, just from 12 to 3. So a quick little tour around Friendswood so the consultants can get, they've had good experience with having these, getting good feedback from the participants on, what they like about their city and what they don't like. So we're looking forward to that. We did Friday folders with FISD just trying to get our survey numbers up. So about 3,500 flyers were delivered on Friday. And I think we're looking at doing Wedgwood Elementary as well, which is another 650. So we'll probably be closing that survey early February. Then we were working on scheduling stakeholder meetings with like high school students, property owners, business owners, and just different organizations within the city. So working on getting all that nailed down. Actually, it did get confirmation today. So Parks and Recreation has a teen leadership program. It's kind of like the teen version of Friendswood Academy. And so at the February 19th meeting, the consultant's going to get an hour with those students to get input from them on what they would like for their city to look like in 20 years. So that should be fun discussion to have with them. They would like to come and talk with you all at your March meeting, which I think we're going to try to get a confirmation of a quorum for that meeting, because that is spring break. So if we're not going to have quorum that week, if y'all would be willing to maybe meet the next week, just so I can get the consultant scheduled with something to come and speak with you all. One of the overreaching, like most common comments in all the surveys and the meetings that we've had so far is downtown improvements. So they want to come workshop that with you all a little bit and decide, maybe, what kind of downtown improvements need to be incorporated in the plan, so.
Any comments before I make one? We may want to consider moving that meeting when we come to that stage, because it is March the 10th. And another thought is the school district does have what I'll call Superintendent's Advisory Student Committee that you might want to investigate also visiting with.
Okay.
Bubba and I did attend that meeting, and it was, very open, good discussion.
Lots.
Lots of discussion. And we're all ready to move forward. And we get to ride on a school bus next Tuesday.
And I will be there.
Oh, okay.
Any other comments, questions? And the group was very diverse, I thought. It was you all have chosen a good group. Council has approved that group. Well done. Comments, questions? Okey-doke. Moving on, 6D. We get to see our financial report.
Yes, ma'am. So
There it is, folks.
for December of 2025, the board had $3,777,411 in the beginning fund balance. A very healthy revenue of $125,684. Just to remind the board that these funds are collected 60 days from after their they're collected 60 days. They're deposited 60 days after they're collected. There we go. Sorry about that. My mind went blank. So this would have been from October, which kind of is just puts a little thought and bubble on my head. So I've already asked to confirm that number is correct, to see if we don't just have a random outlier. I would absolutely love to have that kind of healthy October, because it could definitely speak for November, December here coming up. We have had zero expenditures for December outside of the $1,334 for staff services. You have an ending balance of right over $3.2 million with an unencumbered of $3,183,635, with the only outstanding item being half the payment that's left over for the signage downtown.
Excellent. Excellent. We've all made comments about, we thought we'd never get here, but we're here. And now we can move forward with maybe getting some lines down.
Low-hanging wires are within reach.
Yeah, you got it. Well done, well done. So, one more comment before we discuss this item. I love the screen here. This is a very nice environment. Thank you for letting us be the initial one. So next regularly scheduled meeting is Tuesday, February the 10th. But we also may want to go ahead and discuss the March meeting as well.
Yes, ma'am, and I will send out an email to the board just to see calendars for March, just in case anybody's taken off, and we'll see if we can make sure we adjust the date accordingly.
And I will make an editorial comment, and I know everybody will hear this, but March the 10th is my aunt's 100th birthday.
Wow.
And we will be there celebrating,
Amazing.
if anybody didn't notice, in Indiana.
Yes.
One more time, one more time. Okay. Go Hoosiers, thank you. Go Hoosiers. Anyway, enough of that, let's adjourn. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you. A second? Thank you. We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good meeting. Good discussion. Thank